Hello, my dear students. Hope all are fine. I am Muktilal Bandod, your English teacher from Macrovision Academy, Burhanpur. Dear students, today we are going to study the poem Animals written by Walt Whitman from the book First Flight. Let me tell you about the poet Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman was born on 31st May 1819, West Hills, New York, United States, and died on 26th March 1892 in United States. Dear students, if I tell you further, Walt Whitman is a major figure in early American poetry. He broke the tradition of rhymed and methodical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry which was in free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. Now, my dear students, I will tell you about the poem. In this poem, the writer expresses his feelings about animals. Writer, being an animal lover, compares his life at home with animal and that with a human. He finds human to be more complicated and false as against animals which are according to him placid and self-contained. Animals do not dissatisfy their condition, nor do they have mania of owning things compared to the humans. No animal is unhappy over his miscondition. The writer, in the ends, gives a sarcastic reference, symbolically trying to say that animals remind him of his childhood things. Writer wanders these memories of childhood as token which he feels to have fallen by him long ago. Dear students, now I will tell you the summary of the poem, then I will explain the poem stanza wise. First, the summary. The poem Animals is a very thought provoking poem by the famous American poet Walt Whitman. In this poem, the poet talks about his wishes to live in the company of animals. Human follies like greed, violence, hypocrisy, dishonesty, cunningness, and cravings for owning things appear sickening the poet. He feels like living among animals because they are placid and self dependent. The poet finds animals peace loving, non complaining, non committal, and fully complacent. They neither grumble for their condition nor cry for their sins. They do not make the poet feel repulsive by discussing the duty to God. Unlike human beings, animals neither remain dissatisfied nor suffer from any mania of collecting or owning materialistic things. They do not believe in kneeling before others or bemoaning for those who departed thousands of years before. The poet finds them neither respectable nor unhappy. Animals show their relationship with poet and he accepts. Along with these qualities, animals continue to possess the tokens of mutual love and harmonious relationship which make the poet wonder how the animals retain the qualities whereas the human being negligently left them far behind. Now let us see the poem in detail. First stanza. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. The poet wants to say that he wants to live in the world of animals. Here we can say that the poet finds the world of animals better than that of human beings. He further says that he finds animals more peaceful than humans. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are calm and have no greed for worldly things or any kind of achievements. They are self contained, means they are happy with life and never interfere in the lives of others. Humans have the habit of interfering in the lives of others. So, poet thinks that animals are better than human for being calm and not interfering in the matters of others. The poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and looks at the animals for a very long time. Stanza 2nd. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. The poet says that, unlike humans, animals don't complain of any misery. They never cry out loud like humans do to show what they have lost. They never stay awake in the night crying in repentance for their wrongdoings. This means that animals are different from human beings because they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happens with them. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. He says so because most of the human beings do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. They do so in order to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from their fellow. He feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. He says that none of them is mad behind owning the worldly things. Stanza 3rd. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possessions. Here, the poet says that he has never seen any animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. They never do so even for their ancestors. They do not show devotion towards God like humans do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other animal. Everyone in the animal world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves the happiest or the saddest person on earth. Further, the poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relations with other animals. Here, he wants to say that Animals use other animals as their food and they never try to hide this. Whereas human beings show that they have nice and friendly relations with others, though the reality is opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relation with other animals. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently dropped them? So at last, the poet introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities. He further questions himself that where his own good qualities are gone. Did he let them or had carelessly lost them somewhere? The qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, are now seen in animals. He wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you understood the poem. If you have any doubt, please call me on personal number and I'll clear your doubts. Again, thanks a lot.